guys, hi beautiful people. So it's a beautiful day again. Today I'd like us to talk about you versus you, being your greatest cheerleader. Number one is self-awareness. Be self-aware and your self-talk. Learn to actually affirm yourself. You have said have a daily mantras on a daily basis, that you have affirmations that you keep telling yourself. I am coming for the throne. I am climbing ladders. I am vacating mediocrity. That I am not going to be mediocre. That I am the greatest. That I am the head and never the tail. I am unapologetically successful. That I am resilient. I am an agent of change. Find mantras that you keep telling yourself, so that what happens is actually tends to shift your subconscious and you begin to actually manifest. You must be able to be somebody who, even before things can actually manifest, you must see and you must hear before it becomes physical. You must see and hear before it actually becomes manifest in the physical. So become an agent. I am an agent of change. Keep telling yourself, and remember mantras, daily affirmations. You must begin with I am a money magnet. I am the greatest. I am the head and never the tail. That I am an agent of change. That I am unapologetically successful. I am climbing the ladder. That I am the greatest. I am confident. I am beautiful. I am amazing. Like that. So that you must be self-aware. Understand the things that actually cause you to actually limit your vision, limit you even being able to do whatever it is that you must do. What are those things around you that will cause you to limit you, even in terms of executing your goals and executing your dreams? Be self-aware, right? So that you know these are the things. For example, is it this what the things that I've always thought about that I need to work on? Is it my friends that I need to work on? Is it finances? What exactly is the area that you actually need? You need to be self-aware of the things that are limiting you or the things that are actually propelling you. So therefore, we are saying you must know your strengths, you must know your weaknesses, and then self-talk. What do you keep telling yourself? Right? You must be somebody who maintains a positive attitude and maintains so that what you see and what you hear, whatever you feed your ears, whatever you feed your eyes, is very positive. And whatever you say about yourself, remember you said, talked about this, the daily affirmations and the mantras. Find even scriptures, 5 scriptures on a daily basis that you keep telling yourself, that you keep manifesting, so that by the time things actually they come from the physical realm and they come from the spiritual realm and they manifest in the physical, they already are things that are already building up. Remember, it's like the energies that you build around anything is what eventually becomes the manifestation of the things that you have desired. Because have you ever noticed sometimes you can actually think about a particular thing, you have thought about it, then a week later the exact same thing actually happens. So it's the same thing. Whatever it is that you keep affirming yourself, the same thing that you keep telling yourself is the things that are actually likely to happen. So you have to be somebody who has positive self-talk, who has amazing mantras and things that actually affirm yourself. Nobody else is going to be your greatest cheerleader. But sometimes pat yourself in the back and say that you are the greatest, that you are a game changer, that you must change things, that you're an agent of change. Then number 2 is self-assessment. It is important for you to actually consistently do an assessment. Do look even around you. Who are within your circles? Who is in your circle? What is your environment like? What is even your wardrobe like? What are your daily routines? Is there something that you actually need to work on, right? Like for example, if it is time management you're dealing with, if you're somebody who procrastinates, then you actually need to be able to know, well, then what can I do to become greater? What do I do for me to be able to do better than what I am doing right now? So it is important for you to actually approach life in that regard. If it is your circle around you, it's the people around you that you need to change. If it is your environment in that sense, you must be somebody who chooses to actually change. So therefore, doing a self-assessment of the environment helps you to become better, always. Then number 4, even before you go to number 4, you notice that everything in life, even if you're an employee, there is a performance contract that you actually be assessed. If it is an exam, if you're in the academics, if you're doing a unit, in actual sense, your lecturer or your teacher will actually end up having to do what? To teach teach you a particular thing. They will do an assessment for you. There is maybe going to be a midterm assessment, there is going to be a long-term assessment, there is going to be an annual, like that. So in actual sense, even in life, you must be able to actually do an analysis of the circle around you, even your own wardrobe, for example. Sometimes discard things that are not even useful to you anymore. Learn to outgrow some things. Learn to know that some of these things were actually in your past, and then that is actually tells you that it's part of growth. Then we'll talk about number 4, which is of course, reprogram and have an hunger for transformation. Desire so much to actually change. Be transformed by the renewal of your mind. Be an architect of change. Be somebody who is actually willing to change. That you can't be stuck up in the same position 1 year later. You're the same person 5 years later. Honestly, you actually have to be able to. We talked about assessment. Assessment, what it does, it gives you feedback, and you're able to know that you need to work on a particular thing. So it is important, for example, to be able to be actually an agent of transformation. You have to be transformed. Be transformed by the renewal of your mind. Every time there is progress, yes, you have to be somebody who is a million meters, 1,000 meters above the noise, right? Be like an eagle who flies above the noise. Be somebody who actually is even if you're outnumbered, be somebody who is unique, somebody who, of course, at the end of the day, they are transformed. Be transformed in every aspect of life. Yes. Then we'll talk about number 4 is you must move. It is important for you to move. It's very dangerous for you to be actually growing, but you remain in the same environment, you remain in the same mindset. Yes, what will happen is, of course, it will get the air out of your growth, right? Because what happens, it will actually dwarf your life, it will dwarf your progress. So it is important in life to know what is taking out oxygen, what is taking out your time, what is move, learn to move. Yes, you must accept change. Change is actually inevitable. Yes, that without change you cannot actually grow. So it is important to actually, you just know that you can't be stuck up in the same place throughout. Then you talk about number 5. You must be able to ask yourself, what do I want? What is my passion? Yes, what do I want? The question, what? What is the end goal? Why am I here? What and why? Why are you here? Purpose. What is the reason? That is, of course, you have to define your objective. You have to know your passion. You have to know your objective. What, and then how do I execute it? How do I execute my passion? How do I execute my objective? If it is, for example, it's a startup. How, right? What is the process? What do I need to do, for example, for me to be able to achieve, to go from point A to point B, right? Then you'll talk about number 5, how to navigate between the bridges of life. How to navigate from, basically coming from a place of reality, coming from a place of dream and making it a reality, right? How do you navigate? How do you cross the bridges of life? How do you cross a bridge from your goal, from your vision that you have, for you to be able to actually become a reality in life? You must be somebody, of course, it takes up sacrifice. You have to sacrifice spiritually. Yes, anybody who has succeeded in life, look at their spirituality. It will tell you clearly, this is somebody who have worked out before it becomes a reality. They have been able to make major sacrifices in life. Sacrifice emotionally, balance out. If it is, for example, family, you have to know that you will sometimes even sacrifice your sleep, because you have to. You can imagine it is a startup. You already have maybe a day job, you have a family to run, you have more than one business. In actual sense, you can see it requires a lot of sacrifice. So you can see it is important to know how to navigate from the dream to actually become a reality. It takes a lot of sacrifice, both spiritually, emotionally, financially. You have actually sometimes even end up taking out things that even those pleasures of life. You'll find that there are things that you will actually need to sacrifice. You probably would have wanted to buy a particular thing, but because of the sacrifice, you have to invest back in the business. So what you do is you have to be able to sacrifice and of course even work out even as a family. If you're a family, you have to even talk to your family for them to be able to understand that the sacrifices you're making are for long term, are for investment, are for you to be able to achieve this particular objective. So you have to be somebody who works out the navigations. The navigations requires a lot of even understanding, a lot of accommodation, even among your employees, among your colleagues, in your family, among your family members. So you can see basically it's a navigation. It's something that you have to go around and make sure that everybody else around you also understands the reason why these are the things that have to, this is a process, and for us to come out from a place of dream, a vision, to reality, these are some of the sacrifices even as a family we must be able to make. So you have to make a lot of sacrifices in that regard. Then you talk about number 6, why plus the work ethics. Why are we doing this? Why did I start this business? Why? What are the objectives? Why? You must be able, why do I, for example, have this particular goals? Why do I want to progress like this? Why do I want to have $1 million, for example? Why do I have this particular? And then what is the motive behind it, for example, right? Remember there's a principle in life that says give and take. That whatever you sow, you shall reap. Yes, you will. So you must be also be somebody who loves their community. You have to have that aspect where, of course, please excuse the dog. There's a bit of noise. But you must be able to ask yourself why. What are the motives? Why are you making all these sacrifices? Is it for you to actually have so much money in the bank? Is it for you to help your community? You must be able to actually fight to win. You have to be able to be somebody, of course, who understands their motive. Then we'll go to number 7 is fight to win. Fight to win. Sometimes it is okay to actually back down, but you must be somebody who is resilient, somebody who is so focused, who endures. Endurance is actually a skill in life. It is actually something, it's a gift that you must learn. Yes, don't be sucked into the wins. Sometimes you will win and you want to dwell on your past wins, or you're sucked in the fails. Failure is never final. You have to be somebody who takes failure as lessons, and the wins that you have won, know that in actual sense there is more to it in life. Yes, so don't be sucked up into those situations that the past actually does not necessarily dictate the future. You have to remain focused. Then the last one, of course, is number 7, role play. Role play what you actually want to manifest. You want to become, you actually have to learn to vacate mediocrity. Yes, you have to think positively. You have to role play what you want to become. Yes, be the first to leave and be the last, be the first to arrive. Yes, and be the last to leave. Right? That tells you it's a lot of sacrifice, it is diligence, it is actually role playing. You want to become a CEO yet you're still employed. What happens is you'll find even your bosses, they come very early and they leave very late. But that you can't grumble or you can't complain. You have to take it up. Basically a spirit of excellence demands that you are doing your best, whether it is your own work, whether it is your own business, it is you're a CEO, you're just even just an employee. You have to be somebody, you're the first to leave and clearly you're the last. So actually it talks about the manifesting the things that you want to desire. You, for example, want to drive this particular car. You have to have that kind of mentality. Yes, you want to build this kind of a house. You have actually sometimes have to role play, being that carry those virtues. How do, for example, read even some of these things. Read like how do millionaires, for example, what are the habits of millionaires? What are the habits of people who are successful? Who is the greatest chef, for example, if you're a chef? Learn to actually role play, being that there is somebody who would say, fake it till you make it. Yes, but you can actually role playing basically means that even your mindset and your internally before it becomes your dreams becomes a reality, you actually already manifesting. Yes, it's just that it has not manifested in the physical, but spiritually it already has been able to manifest. So that's our video, guys. So if you want to subscribe, if you have not subscribed, please do subscribe.